Welcome back into another edition of Keeping Up with Cherokee County Athletics. We're here with head coach, Coach Kelly, and Coach, another work pail, lunch, I don't know what you call it. What's those saying? Lunch pail.
Lunch pail.
Lunch pail effort last week from your guys. They come out with a 55-0 victory, and that had to put a smile on your face to see everybody execute like they did. But take us back to last Friday night and how that transpired against Hansel.
Well, I mean, with us, last couple of weeks has just been trying to be consistent, every day at practice. And weight room's really not a problem because these guys really love.
They love it.
They love going in the weight room. They love putting the work in. They love looking at themselves in the mirror. They love seeing just the development. So those guys, and really the testament of getting them to buy into the weight program, is just the visibility of them being able to see how much better they've gotten, how much stronger they've gotten, how much different their body has changed, how much weight gained or weight lost. So that has never been an issue with us. Us is getting out there and locking into each phase that we're trying to do. So it's been spotty for the last couple of weeks to the point where I had a bad blow up last week and kind of challenging, because I in pregame and all that, it was about we've lost our hunger. Y'all aren't hungry anymore. And, I don't know what we have to do for y'all to gain your hunger back, but there's no hunger, there's no desire on a daily basis for y'all to do the things that we've said that we want to accomplish and all this and that. And so the challenge was kind of set by me, and they came out and they brought their lunch pails. And Hansville, let me tell you something, they don't have very many players, but they are really big. We talked last week about how big they were. They've got big linemen. The tail of Hansville is that they're playing a lot both ways. So the same guys that are playing offensive line, a lot of those guys are turning around and having to play defense as well. We knew that at some point we would probably wear them down. They would get tired. We're not playing as many guys both ways, so we might, depending on how long it would last, just weather the storm and continue to play, and eventually, and they turned the ball over. I mean, there was 3 different drives where it was like one play and they turned the ball over and we got it on short field. And so if those things don't happen, the score might be, it got away and it seemed like it was a, blowout, but, a culmination of things that's not winning football. We turn the ball over, we have penalties. We had a lot of penalties ourselves, but turnovers, penalties, and lack of execution is a recipe for disaster. And I felt like Hansville did a little bit of that Friday night, and it helped us out. But I still think Hansville's a really good football team.
Is there something you've seen in the guys in practice that made you kind of challenge them on that or blow up a little bit? Was it just little things you were seeing? Or what
I mean, effort, body language is a factor in everything. And again, we're with each other 24/7.
So if they're putting
100%. I can be in the inside there, and I can turn around and look at 7-on-7 going on the other end, and I can see, who's dogging it down there, who's taking plays off, who's basically getting us beat. And on the flip side, I can do the same on the other end. And then on the flip side, we got a drone video that's filming every single play. So it's like we can get in there and put the laser pointers like, where are you at right here? Because look. Here's the thing, we watched ourselves. It's getting to a point where I have a hard time watching us on film on a daily basis, because if we're not the type of team that I see on film that we can be, it pisses me off. Because if we say we want to be champions, if we say we want to compete for state, region, and our film don't match that, then in my opinion, we're a bunch of punks. All we are is talk. And so I go a little to negative town sometimes when we don't look like we should on film. But
sometimes you got to.
The standard is the standard, and it ain't going to change. And, as long as I'm here, as long as I'm the coach here, I'm going to have high expectations. We're going to have program expectations, and our players are going to meet them. And we're going to continue to win. And we've won a lot of games in the last couple of years, but it's about the kids buying in to what we want to do.
Gotcha.
And so even on our bad days, it's not all bad, but the standard is the standard. We just hold them a little bit higher.
I don't blame you a bit. A lot of people see the scores and stuff, they don't realize the intricate parts behind the scenes that go into all that. Next question is, it's a kind of a strange week for you because you got a turnaround, a quick turnaround, and then you go on the road on top of a quick turnaround in Mumford this coming week. Mumford may not be what they have been the last couple of years, but they still got a lot of guys. Their record don't implicate how good a football team they are, and I don't have to tell you that. But talk to us a little bit about Mumford and the challenges of a short turnaround on a week like this.
Well, first of all, Mumford had one of the best high school football players in state Alabama the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And Sylvester Smith, I believe his last name is
Just
Sylvester Smith.
Smith.
He's in Auburn.
Oh,
He was committed to Tennessee, went to Auburn, and prepping for Mumford and not seeing his rear end on film is extremely satisfying. We don't have to try to tackle him. I mean, like, I always watch last year's game. If it's a common opponent, kind of get ready how they play. Is what we do bad, what we do good. Just review the game from last year. I think their first play from offense, he breaks 37 tackles and almost scored. And it's like, well, he was a senior, he's gone, so not having to prepare for him. But having said that, they got a lot of offensive line back, they got a lot of defensive line back. They lost a little skilled guys. I think they're bringing most of the linebacker quarterback. They're hurt. I mean, they're a little banged up right now. Quarterback's banged up. They're trying to get healthy, but at the same time make a run for a playoff spot. And it's a non-region game for us, but it's a common opponent. We used to be in the same region with Mumford. We're familiar with Mumford. Coach Easy does a great job of schematically getting his guys into a situation where, on paper, the play should be successful. When they execute it, he's given us problems in the past by just the different formations and getting out of tendencies that he's done the last couple of games. And we're prepping on these two films, and we show up, and it's completely different. Yeah, and so he does a really good job of schematically giving his guys a chance to attack and score points, and he's done that the last couple of years. So I respect him a lot as a coach, and Thursday night game, Friday night game. To be honest, I think our guys might like playing on Thursday. That's one less day they got to prepare, So if they got a short-term disease of fake it till Friday, this week they only got to fake it till Thursday, and we'll be right there. But we had a good practice yesterday. I give guys a hard time, but they're teenagers, man. They gonna get away with what they can get away with, and that's why we kind of hold them to such a higher standard. But like I said, Thursday we got one less day of preparation, so. We got 2 days, and we'll drive down there. We've played them on Thursday before because it's race week. I think my second year here, we played them on Thursday night game. It was a really good environment. It was a lot of people. I think the entire town of Mumford was there. And
probably some race fans.
Maybe so. Maybe give them a buy one, get one. Buy a ticket to here, get to the bush race for free or something. I don't know what they call it anymore. But yeah, we're looking forward to it. I mean, like I said, it's all region opponents and non-region for us now, but they got one of the best backs in that region. I don't know his name, number 3. I think he's a junior. He is very shifty, and he does a little quarterback. If the other one gets hurt, we definitely got to go down there and execute because they're gonna bring the pressure on defense, try to man us up, and they get after it.
Dude, that's one thing I do. Coach Rico Jackson showed Anderson. He talked about he talked about that guy and said he said what he seen on film from him. He's legit. So yeah, I guess you guys are watching the same films.
No doubt. I mean, you got to be able to tackle when you got a guy like that, and it's very similar to 24 from Maniana. He's just not as big, but speed wise, he might actually be a little bit faster. I mean, I seen him on film take one to the right, revert, go to the left, end up going back to the right, and was house called it. So you definitely got to wrap up and contain and do all the things that you got to do defensively to stop some people.
How important is it to play people like that non-region that can challenge you? Because a lot of, unfortunately, I see a lot of teams that they'll go out and they'll schedule a win. You're going to show up, beat this team if you show up, but to go out and schedule somebody's got some guys that year in, year out challenge you.
Well, it's a happy medium with obviously you want to win every game, but you do want to, depending on what your region is, you want to schedule games that will prepare you for, if you're fortunate enough to make the playoffs, that you've seen teams that maybe are going to be a little bit better than the teams you see in the playoffs, or at least in the box or certain phases, or good secondary, or good front seven, or different things. So that goes into play. Also, you want to schedule games that are going to give you financial benefits. Your Piedmont games, your Alexandria games now, and so. But at the same time, you also you got to be smart. You don't want to be in a sense where you're playing teams that you ain't got a chance to win. You're going to be 0-4, and depending on where the culture's at. If you lose a game in non-region, your kids mentally tough enough to get past it. We've lost some non-region games in the first 2 years here. We didn't play Piedmont my first year here. They weren't on the schedule. The second year we lost that game, and then it was like, it actually helped us because they took it for what it was worth. They knew how bad they played and got us in a role, for the regular season. So it's all about how you take it. And then you never know what it's going to be. I mean, teams can graduate a lot of guys, and they might be a sack of hill this year, and then they graduate 25 guys, and now they're rebuilding in the next year of the contract. So you never know what it's going to be when you do it for 2 years because, things change so quickly in high school.
That's true. No doubt about that. Coach, just final thoughts before we shut this episode down about the program, where everybody's at, and just your overall thoughts on where you guys are at halfway through the season.
I'll tell you what, it's crazy to think that we are halfway done.
That's
I was telling my wife the other day, it was like, man, it was this weekend. I said, I can't believe we've already played 5 games in the scrimmage, and I hadn't even had time to just dissect each game or enjoy, reflect each game, because as soon as like the Bama gets to Saturday, I'll watch that, and then it's like on to the next one after that. It's just, you don't have. I guess we can reminisce when it's all over.
Yeah.
But each week is kind of like its own chapter in our story of 23, and so we just want to take this thing and just go 1 week at a time, and we got a big region stretch coming up after. We got Mumford here, and then we're off, and then we got the full nail, the Etowah, the Asheville's coming right back to back, and so we want to be in a position to make a run for the region title and set ourselves up in the region playoffs. The pecking order kind of changes every week, but consistency and stuff that we control on a daily basis, the effort and consistency and stuff like that. That's going to be the difference in how good we are and how far we get a chance to make this thing. And we're looking forward to it, but I can't be upset where we're at. Our guys, like I said, they may not practice well all the times, but we've got great kids, and they're coachable. They love us. They do what we tell. They do what their coaches do the majority of the time, and they play extremely hard. Just to hear some of the things that the officials will tell us about our kids, and then our chain crew will tell us that just the stuff that I hear back from when nobody's watching our kids. The things that they say and the things they do. And it ain't always good, but it never is always good, but it's never as bad as it seems either. So love them to death. I'm excited for where we're at in the last 5, and it should be fun.
Coach, we're going to shut this episode of Keeping Up with Cherokee County Athletics down. We'll be back here next week, God willing, with another episode. Thank you, guys.